Make no mistake, being an entrepreneur is tough. You're trying to build a business, manage a team, deliver your product or service, and of course, make more money, all while trying to eat healthy and get to the gym, raise your kids, and maybe even make it to date night more than twice a year. So, when hustling harder doesn't work for you, how do you find the time, energy, and skills to build the business you want while being the parent and partner your family deserves? My name is Nick Murphy, and this is the Parentpreneur Podcast.
Hey there, guys. Welcome back. Got a great guest for you today. Some of you may recognize this lady. She is amazing. She works with her husband. Jill Stanton is our guest today. She's a co-founder of the Screw the 9 to 5, where she helps unsatisfied employees quit their jobs and start online businesses. She's been coined by Forbes as a destination for up-and-coming online entrepreneurs, and Screw the 9 to 5 has inspired tens of thousands of new entrepreneurs, myself included, to quit their jobs, build businesses, and live lives of meanings and purpose. Jill, I'm thrilled to have you. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm pumped to dive in.
Me too. And your jam, really, as we were talking about before we hit record, is teaching people how to leverage affiliate marketing in your business to actually 2 or 3x their revenue. I feel like affiliates is a really black box for a lot of, we see it, right? Like if we follow marketing, if we are solopreneurs, we have digital businesses, we're on people's lists, and you see, I don't know, the club, it looks like, right? Everybody promotes each other's offers, and we're kind of like, I get affiliates are amazing and I see the revenue, but how in the world do I get in there? So that's one of the major things I want to pick your brain on, as much as I hate that term, today, and really help you kind of shed some light for our audience on how to build those relationships and how to use affiliate marketing in their business.
Well, here's a cool thing is like, that's just one aspect of affiliate marketing. Like that's just the big splashy side of affiliate marketing, but there's like an underground, deadly effective strategy that is all about affiliate marketing. Like there's a huge piece of our business that is done through product reviews that rank on Google organically and just bring in commissions. So it doesn't just have to be splashy launches. Of course, big profit pushes are always fun, but there's so many opportunities for people to really leverage affiliate marketing in their business. And the beauty of that is you don't have any customers. You don't have any fulfillment, no customer support, none of that. You're just connecting your audience with the people, products, programs, tools that you use, like, or believe in your business or your life. And it could just be such a mad effective strategy. So I'm really pumped to dive in.
Me too. Before we get there, for anybody that doesn't know you or your story, can you give us a high level overview of kind of where you started from? I know, right? What are they thinking?
So Josh and I actually got our start together, but we got our start in different businesses. I had a social media management company. This is pre-2012. And right. Josh had a software company and had a few affiliate sites. And around the same time, we were each getting disenchanted with our businesses. And I remember him throwing it out like late 2011, like, we should start a site together. And I was like, yes, like this is my out for working from, I didn't have a job, but it felt like it because I had about 7 different clients who were demanding and wanted all the things. And so this was my out, right? And I was like, cool, let's do it. What do you want to do? And he's like, I think we should start a skincare affiliate site. And I was like, yes, love it. Sorry, what's an affiliate site? So I was super green to this, but it was the first business him and I ever started together. We started an affiliate marketing business and we grew it to 30 different websites in all different niches: skincare, beauty, health, high heels. Sounds random, but lots of traffic for it. Personal hygiene, supplements. Like we just went bananas once we figured out our process. And then, as so tends to happen, people started asking us how we were making money because we had both left our respective businesses. And they were like, what are you guys doing? Are you drug dealers? Like we were traveling heaps. We were about to move to Thailand. There was so much going on. And so we thought, okay, cool. Maybe we should start sharing this journey and sharing what we do and sharing, how we make money and where we're at in the world and all this kind of stuff. And this was our wedding week in Costa Rica, actually, which is probably the one week you shouldn't work, but we're a bunch of maniacs. And it was the day before our attendees were showing up to the hotel in Costa Rica, and we were having a drink on the balcony. And Josh was like, well, what would we call that site? And thanks to Costa Rican rum, I was like, you know what? Screw the 9 to 5. And both of us were like, oh my God, is that available? So we registered it, kind of sat on it because we had never had a personal brand, had never put our faces and names out there at all on any of our other sites. And so we just kind of stumbled along for the first year. This is 2013, created a product, sold precisely 0. It was called Badass Guest Blogging. It was a total flop. I ugly cried for a full day. And then that was a real once I kind of came out of that funk, because I was like, oh my God, the whole world knows we failed. Like, clearly I'm not supposed to do this and blah, blah, blah. All the feels that you typically experience when you're a new entrepreneur, because it's such a roller coaster. And from there, we started saying like, what can we learn from this, right? Like, we sold zero. We thought we were going to kill it. What's the lesson in that? And the lesson was to start teaching what we knew. And so we started teaching how to make money with affiliate marketing inside Screw the 9 to 5. And then that turned into a course. And then that turned into another course called Screw You, which became a membership, which is where we really started to hit some solid steam in our business, build a lot of momentum, make a lot of money. And then at the end of last year, shut all that down, which sounds crazy, but there was a method to our madness, and kind of did a full circle moment. And now inside Screw the 9 to 5 at the moment, our entire revenue model is affiliate marketing. So we don't have any of our own offers, any of our own coaching, none of our own courses, nothing like that. We have a live event, and that's the only thing we sell at the moment until probably 2020. But so it's kind of a full circle moment. So I'm still doing a lot of affiliate marketing. It is 100% of how we make our money right now. And the minute we made that shift, we not only made all of 2018's revenue this year, but surpassed it by $150,000 in the first 10 months of 2019. So it can be a very lucrative income stream. And like I said, it's not just the big splashy launches you see. There's so many different ways to make it work. So I'm excited to dig into that.
Yeah, let's talk about the underground part, but just going back to where our audience is, a lot of us are coaches. We are content creators. Started this business to build a course or build a group coaching program, a mastermind, a membership site, whatever. So you started on the affiliate track, kind of moved into this product and then moved back to affiliate. For the entrepreneur out there who's listening to you going, I get it. Affiliate revenue is where it's at, but it's maybe not my core passion, but I'd still like some extra money and I want to do this. Could they do both at the same time?
100%.
Focus going in and kind of dig into how you approach it from a time standpoint, and just then we'll unpack how you actually build an affiliate site that drives eyeball, creates revenue.
So to clarify, I mean, I don't even think you need to start an affiliate site. Like, if you want to have a bunch of faceless sites and it's all monetized through affiliate marketing, cool. But I actually think affiliate marketing can be so powerful inside personal brands. And we used a lot of it when we had our courses and our membership community, because a lot of the things we were teaching had different softwares attached to it. And so we built up a lot of affiliate revenue from inside our courses as well. So that's a very evergreen kind of 24/7 moneymaker that you don't need to have an affiliate site to create, especially for content creators, coaches, membership site owners, online course creators. This is such a win for you guys, because like I said, it's not bringing on any more customers. You don't need any customer support. There's no offer creation there. There's no fulfillment. It really is just connecting your audience or your customers or your members or your clients with the people you believe in. So other course creators who might teach something that's relevant to what you teach, but you don't focus on that. You can connect your audience who want to learn that side of things. And I'll give you more examples in a second. Or if you're a coach, maybe as you start leading one of your clients through a process, there's tools or courses that you could recommend to them, or other coaches who might help with certain things. Service providers, think about copywriters, messenger bot creators, ads, accountants. There's so many opportunities for referral commissions inside personal brands. Like, the sky's the limit. It's just on how much you want to be creative, but you can do this inside your courses. Like I said, inside your free content, like we use our podcast for this, or videos, or your emails, or if you have a Facebook group or your IG stories. There are so many ways for personal brands to do this.
That's awesome. So for me, I'm an affiliate for 5 or 6 companies. It is, and it's all tools and things that I like. That I've done all the things, right? It's my 5th business in 15 years. So it's like, damn, I know the tools that work. I know what doesn't work. I know where to focus the time. So that's where I spend my coaching energy. But within that, there's all these tools. Kajabi comes to mind as one that makes it super, super simple. And by the way, they have a great affiliate program. So while I'm not promoting Kajabi constantly, when I'm talking to online business owners and people who are aspiring to get into that, where should I build this thing? Well, here's a really great tool that I like for all these reasons.
Here's what I use.
Link, right?
Exactly. Here's what I use. Here's a link. And if you enter this promo code in, you can get 10% off. Most people will give you promo codes if you ask. I mean, some might say no, but it never hurts to ask, because who doesn't want you to send them free leads and sales?
100%, as long as your audience is aligned. So there's ways to drive that outside of discount codes. In the relationships that you create, are there any other ways that you and Josh have found to kind of, if they don't give you a promo code,
Yeah.
You're still using your influence, you're still using your relationship to drive revenue for that company. Are there any things that I don't know about or that the audience doesn't know about, little tips and tricks from the affiliate?
Bonuses big time. So this especially comes into play when you're doing a live promotion or even an evergreen, but it's for like you are teaming up with a course creator or a coach or something like that. So for example, I'll give you 2 examples. One, at the beginning of 2019, we did a promotion with a girlfriend of mine named Bushra Azar, and she has a software called 60-second copy generator. And for that, we just did a straight webinar, but I can take the replay to that and put it into Evergreen if I wanted. We offered no bonuses for that, but it just generates money because her whole software creates really like seriously good, like surprisingly good copy through a tool. She writes it all herself. It's just a whole AI system that she's created. It's bonkers. But anywho, we did that whole evergreen promotion with her. Now I can run traffic to that whenever I want it. Now, on the other side of that, we promoted James Wedmore's Business by Design earlier this year. And we did like $293,000 off that on a $42,000 ad spend. But we had a whole bonus experience that we had created if someone joined through us. So we have a 2-day live event, and James is speaking at that, Pat Flynn's speaking at that, Amy Porterfield speaking at that. But if you joined through us, you got that for free. You also got a free one-on-one coaching call with us. We didn't expect that many people to join, so now we have a lot of coaching calls, but that's neither here or there. We're happy to do it. Anyways, and then there's like a 4-week mastermind and all these like step-by-step marketing masterclasses. So we created a bonus experience. So if someone's thinking about joining that program anyways, and they want extra support or additional coaching, they would make a choice to join through our link to also claim all the other things we created. So you can absolutely create bonuses for people, even if it isn't an evergreen situation. You could create a mini course or a masterclass or, a live Q&A you do each month for anyone who joins. Like there's really high leverage, low bandwidth bonuses that you can create for a lot of these promotions that you do that doesn't take a lot of time, and it doesn't require you to have a promo code just to kill it with these promotions.
Great stuff. I was just at BBD Live not that long ago, and I was talking to somebody in the hallway that joined through your bonus. And I'm like, what did she offer?
Yeah, we go all out. It's like my favorite promotion we do every year. I just love his stuff, and his event is next level. His event's
killer. His stuff's great. You guys will hear a lot more about BBD, I'm sure. So that brings me to a question. James, Amy, Pat now, but you probably didn't always. So let's talk about how to build. I think we understand the how to promote products and do that kind of affiliate marketing. But if you want to get involved in a launch, whether you're looking to promote someone else's launch or you're looking to be an affiliate, how did you go about building those relationships, and how long does that take? Obviously, I think anybody would love to promote somebody like James in a $3,000 program that he sells because it's great and it's also high ticket. So 50% of that is a good chunk of money.
He doesn't do 50%, he does 40, but like still it's a $1,200 commission plus. So, but just wanted to be transparent about that. So one, I pay for friends, and that's going to sound funny, but I actually do. I paid to go to a retreat back in 2014. It was $3,000 each. Josh and I did not have that cash at the time, but we were like, Amy Porterfield speaking, Pat Flynn speaking, John Lee Dumas is speaking. It was in the Philippines. It was run by Chris Ducker, and we were living in Thailand at the time. It was the most serendipitous thing, and we took a risk and threw down $6,000 when the screw wasn't really doing that kind of cash yet. We had just had our failed launch, so that felt like an extreme step for us. But it's the best thing we ever did, because over those 5 years, I've created really great relationships. Now, how did I do it? One, I paid to be in the room. Same with James. I paid over $20,000 to be in his mastermind in 2017. And so I've put myself out there. I took some risk. I put down the cash, and I paid to be around those people, especially when I was just up and coming, right? I think people want to hack it and do it for free. Maybe you can hack it, but I've just never had a really great relationship in my life and my business come from, just hoping that I can steal 5 minutes at an event after they get off stage and like fangirling over them. Instead, I put myself in the room where I have their captive attention and like their presence for a few days. So, I mean, that's not the most popular answer because it requires an upfront investment, but I really believe that if you're willing to put yourself out there like that, the relationships you can build are so so worth it because the quality, the caliber of people you put yourself around is unmatched. And like, it's just such a better strategy in my mind than, you know, sitting inside free Facebook groups, hoping that you make some friends. Instead, you like put yourself out there, you get offline with people and you build relationships like an actual human.
No, it's amazing. And you didn't just go after random people. It doesn't, your motivation wasn't just, hey, these guys make money and I want to be buddies and I'll just go to this thing. I'm assuming you were following all of them, have great podcasts. So just leveraging the relationships or building relationships with the people that are already influencers in your life seems like a really great strategy.
And I didn't go in with a motive. I just have to say that. Like, I didn't go in to get something out of these relationships. I really didn't. Like, I was never going for asks straight out of the gate. Like, I don't even think I've ever gone for an ask. Like, I'm trying to think of one, maybe like Amy's podcast. Or, I mean, speaking at our event was a pretty big ask. And when all three of them said yes, I was like, how did that happen? Awesome. Let's roll with it. But, you know, I'm not constantly pinging them, asking for things. They're all busy. They all have their own stuff going on. I don't want to be a nuisance. I want to be a value add. And I think that's the big key with connecting with people you really want to be around is add value in some way. And that's such a like annoying overused statement in our world, but it's true. Like share some of their content or show up in a big way to support them or have them on your podcast or, you know, whatever that looks like for you. Anyways, do a book buy. If they have a book coming out, you know, share some of their stuff. There's so many ways that you can add value and show up on their radar, join their programs, and then like really stand out and support people. I was talking to this one girl who joined Amy's course through us, Digital Course Academy, and we were having a quick call when she was on the fence, and she was like, honestly, I'm thinking about joining this so that I have access to you because I want to build a copywriting business, and you said on one of your podcasts that you want to hire a copywriter. And I was like, fuck, that's a really smart idea. Like, that's a really bold move, and I appreciate that kind of stuff. And now that chick is on my radar. You know what I mean? But I just think being crafty about this and not hoping and praying and fangirling and putting people on a pedestal, like come up to their level and pay to be in that room.
No, I love that. I think that's great. I think there's a lot of imposter syndrome that goes on with early stage entrepreneurs, especially. We've all had failed launches. We've all launched to crickets or done this thing. And it's like,
for sure.
But man, maybe
what does that mean about me?
Maybe nobody cares, or maybe I'm in the wrong business, or my product sucks. I'll build 33 more and one of them will be it.
True.
When you go about this, I think the early stage entrepreneur looks at some of these relationships and how do you, if you can't be in the room, let's just go there. If you can't pay to be in the room for whatever reason, but you still want to build that connection, you're doing it authentically. You're not just trying to get something, but you want to get on their radar. I mean, email doesn't necessarily work. I found success.
Especially not with someone who's really high up. They're not even in their email, right?
Joining the programs is probably, I would say in my experience, like I'm in James' program, I'm in Stu McLaren's program. But, you know, when I was, a couple of years ago, I'm looking at Stu McLaren, like, dude, this dude just did like a $3.5 million launch.
Yeah.
And I love what you're saying. And I love how you get in the room. If you can't do that, what are ways to digitally connect with people authentically and provide value if you can't just be there with them?
Yeah. Well, one, you just demonstrated a great example of that. Like you're paying to be in a virtual room with them, right? Like you're paying to be inside their courses. And I'm just going to challenge every up and coming entrepreneur to put themselves out there and to make investments where you can, because I really think if you're saying to yourself in this like loop in your head right now, but I can't afford it, but I can't afford it, but I can't afford it. The reason you can't afford it is because you're being the entrepreneur who doesn't think they can afford it versus one who is resourceful and finds a way to afford it to get around those people, because business is built on relationships. And so you need to make building relationships your business. You know what I mean? And you need to make key investments that will get you the access, because that's just how it breaks down right now. Like it's a busy place. It's noisy online, especially if you're going for like the key players. They have big audiences. They've got teams. They're busy. You know, the access is limited to them. You have to pay to play with them. Now, if you're looking for people who are up and coming, but they have really engaged audiences, reach out to them directly. One of my favorite ways to do that is through IGDMs. Like I've connected with a lot of people on IGDM, just sharing their content. And then when they say thank you, that's my in to start a conversation. Or for example, I love the woman, Cara Alwill, who runs the Champagne Diet. I followed her for a few years. I saw that she had a new book coming out. Boom. hit her comments when she announced that. Said, would love to have you on the podcast to talk about the book. That opened up a conversation. You know what I mean? Like having something to provide to them, making a big play for them before you ever expect anything is so key in building relationships. And then just being an actual normal human being, like not fangirling and realizing that they are just an entrepreneur as well. And they don't have some magic sauce or pixie dust that might rub off on you. Like they've just been in the game longer. But I think also realizing that some people with smaller audiences who have really engaged audiences are just as powerful as the key players that you see at the top. And so just picking and choosing and then locating those people who do have these niche, strong, engaged audiences and building relationships with them. Because if you start to build relationships with people who are at the same stage as you or just a bit above and you all come up together, I mean, those relationships stand to really gain so much over the years because you support each other, you build these friendships, you build these relationships, you connect each other to other people. It's just like, I don't know, it sounds so like frivolous to just be like, that's how you do it. But like, that's actually how you do it. You make it a point to provide value.
100%. If you look at the big players out there, the people in the marketing world, you know, Lewis and James works together, and then Amy and Stu are buddies, and Pat Flynn, and there's the San Diego connection, and John Lee Dumas.
Totally.
You see, it's almost like I have a football background. It's almost like the Bill coaching tree, right? Like great people come out of this group. I want to pivot for a minute. So if someone wants to approach you, and you guys are at a high level now, what is it that you as an affiliate look for when it comes to how you determine how to promote, whether it's specific entrepreneurs, specific products, offers? I'm sure you get hit up a lot. Just because we have a chance to ask somebody directly from the horse's mouth. How do you get any tips or tricks to
I have a lot of them.
Facilitate that? Yeah, go for it. The underground world. Let's hear all about the underground world.
One, your shit needs to be dialed in and converting. Like it has to convert, right? Like if you're just like, hey, Pat Flynn, because he does a lot of affiliate marketing. I'm thinking of creating a course. Do you want to promote it? No. Like, no. It has to be proven. You need to know your EPL, which is your earnings per lead. So how much someone would have to spend in order to get a customer, and like what they could. Earnings per lead is such a key metric, and you know this from BBD as well, because it allows you to forecast or predict kind of what you'll make from, you know, the amount of leads you send. And so you can know what to spend on ads and all of that kind of stuff. So knowing that, making sure your funnel converts, making sure you have swipe copy, making sure that, you know, you have an audience that is actually aligned with what their offer is and can promote them to it. And then reaching out and saying, you know, I believe that my audience would flip the F out over your course on list building. Is there any way that you would want to do a webinar with me? Or would you want to come on my podcast? Or would you want to do a Facebook Live with me? And we could drive leads to you. The beauty of affiliate marketing gives you leverage because you are driving traffic, leads, and sales to someone that they don't have to pay for. And so it is a win for them. But making sure that your audience, one, you have one. That's key.
We're doing a whole day on audience right now.
Two, they're actually listening to what you say, right? So you can have a huge audience, but they don't give a shit about what you say, versus a smaller audience that is like made of believers, and they will click, read, watch, listen, or buy anything that you put out there. That's power for a lot of people. And so reaching out and probably at the beginning going through their team, but just communicating that you would love to send leads and traffic and sales to them. And like, how could you figure that out to do something together? Some people might say no, but some people will probably say yes because it's a win for them. And then, so making sure that your funnel's dialed in, everything's converting. You have proof, like you have actual results and testimonials that they can share to their audience because stories sell. And then that you have the capacity to be able to handle the influx of traffic, leads, and sales that they'll probably send your way, and like a way to onboard those people properly and strategically and make sure that they're loved on so that they don't then go back to that person that you teamed up with and was like, what the F? You know, this person was a total hot mess behind the scenes and this was a waste of my money. That looks bad on them. So just making sure that all of your stuff is dialed in, and test the waters with smaller affiliates in the beginning, like someone who's at the same level or has an audience that's congruent to your offer, and testing the waters and seeing what the feedback is and what the conversions are, and then working your way up until you attract bigger affiliates.
I love that. So using your example of an Instagram DM, obviously you wouldn't just data dump all of that in an intro.
No.
How do you, let's say you've added value, you've been in their DMs, you're sharing their content, depending on who runs the IG account, right? Might be their team, might be them. How do you initiate that conversation? If you have a dialed in funnel, what would you drop in there that would get the attention, that would flag it to you saying, all right, this person, they do have their shit dialed in, they get it. This isn't just some fly by night, hey, promote my stuff, please kind of offer. What is it that you see in a DM to you that goes, all right, this sounds like something worth either responding to or sending to your team or whatever your vetting process is?
Yeah. One, it would have to be unique, something we haven't done before, something that's congruent to our audience, something that's an easy yes. It also has to fit with our promotion schedule. So like 2020 is planned for us. We wouldn't say yes to anything. Finding ways for them to make it an easy yes, like just a simple webinar, or I've already got emails for you to send, or, would you want to just do a quick FB live, anything like that, just like real quick wins for them. There's a few things I would want to see if they would hop on a call, or if I could hop on a call with their point person, right? Being willing to talk to their team before they're brought in. Or another one, this is probably an even bigger win, actually, an even easier intro would be, I want to work with someone who knows them, get them some results and make them some money, and then ask them, do you think that so-and-so would be interested in promoting this? And if so, would you be open to making an intro for me? One thing I always do now, I do this with podcast interviews. Anytime someone has me on their show and I think that, they have strong influence and a good audience, I say, do you know anyone else who's looking for a podcast guest? Like, I would love the intro. So making little asks like that, especially if they just had a great experience with you, is a huge win.
Let's talk about podcasting. So, I have a podcast and there's a lot of buzz around podcasting right now, how to get guest interviews. There's whole companies, 7-figure companies, getting people booked on podcasts, which is a whole other rabbit hole that we won't go down. But in the podcast space, how can someone use that podcast to either promote their affiliates or build that relationship in a way? You want to create value before you necessarily go and say, hey, will you be an affiliate for me?
For sure. So an example I did with Bushra back in 2018, early 2018, when she had just come out with 60-second copy generator. I had her on our podcast to talk about like ways people could write more compelling copy and really use persuasion in their business to make things an easy yes for their customers and their offers. And then I just casually mentioned and seeded, like, I use 60-second copy generator. It's the shit. I love it. Bushra's hooked us up with a free, I can't even remember what it was at the time. I think it was just her evergreen webinar. And that one podcast episode did like $6,000 off it. I didn't even realize it because I was just like, I do use this and I love it. And so you guys should check it out. And then I was shocked when all these sales started coming through. I was like, we need to do that more often, clearly, because it was just a authentic, genuine mention of a program I use or a product I use. And from there, because I have trust with my audience and they know that I'm not recommending nonsense to them, they went and executed on it, because also that's aligned with my audience. I know that a lot of them struggle to write really good copy and they don't want to keep hiring all these expensive copywriters. And so I just seeded that in the interview a few times, and then people just took action on it. Another thing, like, speaking of John Lee Dumas, he uses his podcast a lot for this, is he'll have people on his show and then they'll talk about a freebie or a webinar or whatever that person has going on, and he'll use his affiliate link. And he's made so much money that way, because when you have an audience who listens and believes in you, they'll take action on your suggestions, because your audience wants to know what works for you. They want to know what you like. They want to know what you use. They don't want to wade through the gazillions of options to figure it out on their own. They'd much rather fast track it. Think about fashion bloggers or like fitness bloggers. They're always sharing the apparel they use, the weights they use, the supplements they use, the whatever, the workouts, the programs. They're always sharing that stuff because their audience is hungry for the results that they have. And they think that by purchasing whatever, they too will get those results. So it's just really about a transference of trust and really bookending that or front loading that with really great free content.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're positioning the transformation that your avatar, your audience wants. You're like, oh, by the way, here's the tool I use to accomplish that faster, easier, sooner.
Yeah. Like if you don't want to wade through all the nonsense, go check out this and go through her free masterclass or whatever that is, or grab her cheat sheet or these scripts or whatever it is. Just, I think the biggest thing with affiliate marketing specifically, or just selling online at all, is front loading always with a ton of really helpful free content. Like you have to front load a lot of your suggestions with free gives that will give people quick wins, because then they'll want more of it.
Let's talk real quick about audience building. You guys built a big audience with Screw. It's passionate. It's something that's an aspirational identity. If you're a story brand fan, like everybody wants to screw the 9-to-5 and quit and go be their own boss, free, right? So there you go. So
yeah.
And how did you guys, what tips would you give to an entrepreneur out there who has a very small audience, or maybe they're just getting started, to grow that audience? Strategies, I mean, there's the value and there's the connection. But what did you guys do that really grew your list or connected you the most with your ideal customer to build the fanatical trust and just brand loyalty and fandom that you and Josh have created for Screw?
One, I've been pimping us out for going on 7 years. Like when we first started, I was writing guest posts like a fiend, because that's how we built all of our affiliate sites. That's how we got our links for all these organic rankings we had on Google. Was I guest posted like it was my job, because at that time it was my job. Just driving links, getting the word out there, building links to the Screw so that it starts to rank on Google for all the big topics we want to hit. Next, I do podcast interviews for other people's shows all the damn time, to the point that I've like finessed my calendar. So I only do calls now Thursdays and Fridays so I can keep it focused. And then Monday to Wednesday is just for CEO work. But I make it a point to always get the brand out there. I think a lot of people want all these like quick hacks that you don't have to put yourself out there. You most certainly have to put yourself out there and get in front of the audiences who are aligned with what you have to say and sell. Second, creating your own content. Attention is money online, but attention is built through free content. And there is a voracious appetite for content right now. Like even just looking at myself, I would consider myself a pretty light consumer of content. And I would say, it's going to sound funny because I just said I'm a light consumer of content. And now I'm about to say I only listen to like 3 podcasts a day. But like, I'm constantly consuming content, right? So knowing that your audience wants to hear from you, they want to learn from you, they want to connect with you, and then creating really great free content to attract them and pull them in and build that know, like, and trust factor. Third, I think, especially if you're starting out, Facebook groups, like free Facebook groups, starting one for your brand, can be the easiest win for you. That's how I really think we had a breakthrough with Screw the 9-to-5 is in 2015. We opened up our first Facebook group, and I think within the first year or so we hit 20,000 people, because everything I did was pointing towards that Facebook group. All the podcast interviews I did, it was the closing outro on our podcast was to join our free group, in our email intros, in our sales funnels. It was a tab on our website. Like everything pointed to that group. And I just constantly collected people in there, showed up, served as much as I could until we built that up to like 45,000 members. And then, I mean, it just takes you getting out there and talking about what you know. And I hate the saying, but I don't know another saying for it. It's like giving value and just doing it over and over again. Like I think so many people want these quick wins and they want to hit the coveted 6 figures in their first year. And it's possible, but it's going to take a lot of you putting yourself out there and getting on other people's platforms. But get crafty, like connect with people on IG and do IG takeovers or Facebook group takeovers or YouTube channel takeovers, or get on other podcasts or write guest posts or sign up to something like Haro, which is helpareporter.com, and start submitting for media queries. There's an abundance of opportunities. It's just most people don't want to do them because it takes a lot of work. But if you want the result of it, you'll put in the work to get it.
I love it. And my last question for you is going to be for your final piece of advice for those entrepreneurs who want to leverage affiliates or build relationships with affiliates to promote their offers. I think you pretty much just nailed the audience piece. Is there anything that we haven't touched on in terms of relationship building? If you can't put yourself in the room, aside from doing the DM, Instagram, instant messages, that you would recommend to get yourself and your brand and how you can add value for their offers in front of that entrepreneur?
Someone once, who told me this? I wrote it down because I was like, Damn, that's so smart. I think it was Scott Alford who said this. And he said, there's three currencies. There's audience, there's relationships, and there's money. And he said, I invest money to build an audience because the audience size gets me the relationships. Like the bigger the audience, the bigger the people you're going to attract. It's just a fact. And then the bigger the audience and the bigger relationships, the more money you make. But it takes investment. I mean, you can patchwork it together in a free sense if you want. It's just going to take longer. But if you really want to accelerate that, you're going to have to put something down and really take a bit of a risk, put yourself out there, maybe start spending money on Facebook ads, drive it to a funnel, drive it to a freebie, fuel a launch, do whatever you can, build your audience, then start reaching out to these key people because they're going to want to see that you actually have something of value to them. It sounds rude, but let's just keep it real, right? They're busy. They don't want to mess around with people who are just starting out because they have a lot of bigger opportunities coming into their world. And so you have to work your way up. But that's why I said, like, start locating or identifying people who are at the same stage as you and come up together, help each other out, promote each other, get in front of each other's audiences, like really be collaborative in that sense. And then as you grow together, then more doors will open up, more opportunities will come your way. Your audience will continue to grow, which will attract bigger relationships, which will make you more money.
How does this audience connect with you and Josh more closely online if they just love your style and want to learn more from you?
Yeah. Easiest way is screwthe9to5.com, all spelt out, no numbers. Or you can subscribe to our podcast. That's probably the best way to hang with us every day or 3 times a week. And that's over at thescrewshow.com. Sounds like porn, but it's about entrepreneurship. And then just on Instagram at screwthe9to5. Again, all spelt out, no numbers.
Jill, you're amazing. I appreciate so much what you do and your time and all the value you've added.
Thanks.
Love it. Thanks so much for joining us.
Wait. Before you go, did you know that the most successful online businesses are built working in 90-day blocks, prioritizing only the big projects that truly drive revenue and fuel growth? If you want to make next quarter your best one yet, head over to nickmurphy.io/guide to grab your free copy of the 90-day Parentpreneur Planner. Thanks for listening. I'll see you back here on the next episode of the Parentpreneur Podcast.